when you saw Ben Askren going up there taking that, I saw Brendan Schaub says it's not a dive. I don't know what your opinion on that is, but I saw Robbie Lawler put his fist through Ben Askren's face and him not go down. So I don't know what your thoughts are on Ben Askren versus Jake Paul, if you want to say him, but.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not going to take a dive. I'm not going to let somebody punch me in the face like that and take a dive. I mean, I think Jake just really caught him.
Really?
What about Tyron Woodley? Is there any chance he took a dive? Because he got knocked out.
Nah, Jake caught him again. I mean, listen, I hate to say it because I was not a fan of the Jake Paul and the Paul brothers doing their thing, but they won me over. I mean,
really?
You gotta respect them. You gotta respect them because, I mean, it's not easy what they did.
How bad would you mess up Jake Paul?
I mean, I like to believe I'll mess him up pretty bad, but I mean, Jake is doing some things now. You know what I'm saying? He's
dude, you're a UFC Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not a boxer. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a boxer.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two for those laymen out here?
Pace, the timing, the distance. The cadence of the punches. You got to be able to understand that in order to. You can't just like jump into a boxing match and just think that you're going to be able to. It's a different
sport, is what you're saying.
It's a totally different sport.
It's a long drive competition compared to 18 holes of golf. It's home run derby or a dunk contest compared to basketball. You have to have. To go up against him, he's gonna grapple you. He's gonna strike from the outside. He's gonna kick you with your legs from every angle. I mean, the amount of stuff that you have to prepare for is insane.
Like for instance, like T Wood is known for that big overhand right, but that was predicated off of the fact that he had the ability to take you down. Yeah. So you had to respect the fact that he could take you down.
So when you're not even worrying about that, it's just straight boxing.
It's just straight boxing, yeah. Wow. So,
but by the way, so here's a question: you got. Francis, who's destroying people, right, with a swing. And then you got Tyson Fury, who is undefeated. And one looks like a boxer, the other one looks like a bartender, right? Even he jokes about it. What are you trying to say here, Even he jokes about it. No. He posted a picture the other day. He says, this guy looks like a boxer, this guy does not, but this guy whooped his ass. Like, that's what he said on his Instagram post. But if a Fury today fights Francis, boxing, obviously, in the other area, it's a different story. But it's in the boxing by the boxing rules. Does Tyson still win?
100%.
100%.
I mean, listen.
Wow.
Listen, as today, right now.
No, I'm talking about right now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Francis hasn't been boxing, right? I mean, listen, Francis can box, but to dismiss Tyson Fury just by the way his body is, you're dismissing his boxing skill. Tyson Fury is extremely fast. He has, very good footwork. He has very good setups with his punches. I mean, Deontay Wilder, his skill level when it comes to showing the straight ones and twos may not be the cleanest, but he can box. You know what I'm saying? Wilder can box.
So maybe Wilder Francis is a better fight.
That'd be a better fight. That'd be a better
see what
fight.
You're saying.
I think that if Deontay Wilder and Francis fought, I like Francis in that fight.
Over Wilder?
Over Wilder. I like Francis in that fight.
Because Wilder throws some wild punches when it comes. But if they connect, you're going down.
Back to Jake Paul. He's just making mincemeat of these UFC guys. You brought up Ben Askren.
Let's get Anderson Silva in there.
But let's talk boxers. Where is he in an actual boxing match if he's fighting a real boxer? I don't know if Fury's brother is a good example. But
in his weight class too, though, Adam. Because remember, he's been fighting people 20 pounds less.
Where is he in a real boxer? Okay, something that I'm clarifying right now is like, all right, cool. It's not the same thing. Boxing, UFC, use the home run derby versus a real baseball game. If he fights a real boxer, where's that go?
Probably not well for him, because the truth of the matter is, he still makes a lot of amateur mistakes when he's out there. He's fighting exactly who he needs to be fighting. Yeah. And I think this is the shtick that he needs to stick with because, he doesn't need to be fighting any real boxers that's been fighting since they were kids because the truth of the matter is he will get exposed in that respect.
And he's got 40 million reasons to keep messing up UFC guys, huh?
I mean, I guess he's supposed to be fighting Mike Tyson soon. So
I don't know about that. You have a story on that, Pat?
I mean, that's what I heard. I mean, but if he fighting Mike Tyson,
yeah, where you at with that?
Mike is going to destroy him because Mike don't play boxing. Mike don't play boxing.
Yeah,
Mike don't even.
Mike would destroy him at
Mike
50.
Mike would.
At 55.
Listen, Mike is a different animal altogether. Mike is something different. Like Mike is the kind of guy who, like, he's become very civilized, but he's still very, very savage. Very savage.
But up until what age? Meaning 55, Mike Tyson will mess him up. 65-year-old
He's
Mike
55.
Tyson?
He's 7 years away from getting Social Security. 55 is 55. I don't know what we're talking
Well, he
about.
smokes a lot. He takes a lot of mushrooms, so he's got a different perspective.
I mean, Mike trains too. Mike is not just he doesn't just do it to get in shape for a fight. Mike is training all the time. He's consistently training. He's been able to find a second win when it comes to training. He's been able to find a second win when it comes to the love of the sport, which pushed him out of the boxing in general. But now he loves it again. And now that he loves it again, he's into it. He's into boxing and he's.
But by the way, would you make the comparison of John Jones and Mike Tyson more than John Jones and Dennis Rodman? Would you make that like, a personality, the more the extracurricular activities outside of the ring? Would you make that comparison?
I would say no. I mean, because knowing Mike Tyson, Mike is he's a very cerebral guy. Mike is one of the smartest guys that you're gonna meet. I would say when Mike gets himself in situations, is because he allowed himself to get overwhelmed with a situation. He doesn't handle being overwhelmed really well. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mike doesn't.
Mike doesn't. He doesn't.
Well, you know
handle-
that Pat and Tyson were in the ring together one time.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense moment. Would you
You're
like?
so
What was?
funny.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.